Asta pomaga-dečku.
To je Kana. Streljaj, če lahko. Streljaj!
Hey, my name is Dieter Primmig. I'm the director of The Boy in the Snow, Der Junge im Schnee. It's a story about unification, about human connection of two characters, a soldier and a boy lost in the wilderness of the snow, and how two enemies can become friends in a situation like this with the right pressure.
The script started with a meeting of me and Dieter. Definitely from the very early stages, we were talking about war and humanity and how that humanity in those kind of situations can almost be lost. And we wanted to tell a story about someone that had almost extinguished their humanity, totally. And then they are forced into a situation where they meet another human being, essentially, and then they have to, through a process and a time of forced contact with each other, gradually that ember of humanity is reignited by that relationship.
I love big movies, I love epic movies, but for me it's very important that these movies have a heart, and I think a lot of movies today miss the mark. They have big spectacular set pieces, but there's just nothing in the middle that holds you. And I really try, to getting those two things aligned and make an awesome movie experience for the audience, so that the audience cares about the characters.
You really want to be a storyteller with your pictures, and on the other hand, with the other part of your brain, you really have to think like, okay, how to achieve it, like what lens are you using to achieve what you want and bring it to life. We wanted to visualize just this two little small characters in a huge shot. As a human being, you are just so small compared to these huge mountains, and you're actually helpless. Crew was perfect because everybody was into the movie, for the movie. That helped.
I'm very touched by the people who were working with me investing so much in this, because only together it was possible to achieve this dimension of a project. For me, this was a 1.5-year journey to get this movie done. We went to the mountains in Austria. We had nights where it was minus 16 degrees. Tripods were freezing and everything was just going really badly. And I had a 10-year-old actor, like the boy, who I was very afraid of that he would, break after the second date. When I work with actors, I normally do a whole lot of preparation with them. We would take the script, that we will shoot, but we will put it under quarantine. We really will explore the character outside that script. So we really will have conversations about where's this character coming from? Who are the parents of that character? And listening to your actors is something that a lot of directors, I think, are afraid to do because it's like you're losing control. And I don't believe in that. I try to learn to know what do you need to do the scene. The scenes sometimes are very silent, and because of that, everything that is a little bit louder in the film, like chasing scenes and so on, feel much bigger. And I think because there's so much space in that movie, there's also a lot of space for music.
The film is not really relating to a particular time, but it's kind of placed in the Second World War. We read the script and we're quite inspired by it. There was a scene where the boy was singing a song. That was actually the main idea of the whole score.
Just by survival in the snow, they develop a relationship, and so the music reflects that, of course.
We thought that we need to find a way to really kind of communicate all this emotion would happen in the film. And we thought the honest way would be like having real musicians in. We had like a solo violin, a solo cello, and a solo bass recorder, symbolizing the relationship between both, and they're recognizing that they can't survive without each other. We recorded all the solo instruments here in Berlin in our studio, and orchestral parts were performed by the Budapest Film Orchestra.
We all have an instrument, and Philip's instrument, I think, is orchestration, and that's his language, orchestral score, and he's very good at it. So why not go 60-piece orchestra?
We were really excited about this, but then Corona came. And we both had to go into quarantine. I was sitting there with the director, actually my girlfriend, and between all these little plants in the kitchen, the monitor, and then we had heard the music.
The music that was done by Philipp Eisenfeld and Damien Press is half of the movie. And I think it will work around the world.
It's a strange model sometimes to make a short film, but it's also a calling card that you give to someone else to say, hey, we did this on our own and we can do bigger and better, more interesting things. And with this film, we're very proud of it. And I think it's super relevant today, because I think it's very easy to feel a real distance from people and they become immigrants or refugees, or, in war, they become the enemy. And with this film, it feels very relevant because it's a direct, forceful question to the audience. I will want them to finish and think about, how do I view other people?
This movie was a labor of love from my point of view. And hopefully everybody who walks into the cinema will walk out of the cinema enlightened.